Hello, everyone. Welcome inside the Red Earth Production Studios for another edition of YBMcast, powered by Game 7 Baseball, Game7Baseball.com. Season over, and as we are sitting here today watching it rain, that's probably a good thing. Pretty good fall, actually. Got a lot of baseball in through the fall. The weather was held out pretty good, and I think it was really nice. So next week, we will have Dave Pinning on the show, updating Game 7. There's a lot of good stuff. Already working on next season, man. Those guys never take a break. They don't. It's a full-time job. It's what they do. And Game 7 does it pretty well. So looking forward to that conversation. Meanwhile, today, I'm flying solo. My buddy Mitch couldn't make it in today. Hope we'll have him back in the studio next week. And talking to him, we got some good stuff coming up, player spotlight as well coming up in a couple weeks. We're still working on something. I'm looking forward to having Lane Harris coming up. You saw some of the we didn't get Brady Piccarelli on, had an issue with the scheduling there. Lane, we had to push back a little bit because of an issue with scheduling. So, but we're working on getting these player spotlights up and going. So stay tuned. If you like what we're doing, please hit the subscribe button. That's what we do. We hit dingers as well. That'll get you all your notifications. You hit dingers, you get notifications on upcoming episodes. Information that we talk about. I like to work towards getting to be the most comprehensive youth and prep baseball talk around the Midwest. And that's our goal. That's what we want to produce. From prep ball in high school to Kevin Mulder with PBR and talking about baseball that way to the clubs. As you can see behind me here, there's some great clubs in the area. We're also starting to work with American Legion Baseball. We're going to have some Legion Baseball talk. We got a lot of stuff happening. We were just over in this past weekend with Missouri American Legion, and they were doing their award ceremonies, passing out their Hall of Fame inductees, Gary Stone, Mike Rooney. Mike Rooney was a coach with American Legion, won 1,295 games. Man, that's a career. 1,295 games. That's a lot of wins. I don't care what level you're at. Congrats to Mike Rooney. Gary Stone, the same. Congrats to those gentlemen for getting into the Missouri Legion Hall of Fame. Guys that won the state, Washington, their AA team won the state championship AA, which is the junior team. First time post 11, McDonald, I think it's Duggar. Oh, shoot. It's 3 names and I forgot them. That's terrible. Trevor Moss, I know, was the head coach there. Congrats to those guys. McDonald Dugan, I believe it is. McDonald Dugan. And there's another name there. Post 11. There it is. St. Joe, Missouri. There we go. Yeah, check the video. There you go. That's it. So, but we're looking at today. We're heading into the off season. Everybody's kind of winding down football season. The weather's turning. People are going to head to the holidays. They're going to be that break time. So we're going to start working towards our winter workout tour that we'll have coming up. Looking at some clubs and it's interesting. I've been compiling a list of the clubs around the state of Missouri. And we're going to start working on the state of Illinois. We've got some, a little bit there, high school teams, Legion baseball teams. But I think it's interesting, just in our area here, all the way down. You got Afton, Southside Prospects, in St. Louis Bears, Baldwin, Velocity. Oh nope, that's Belton and Blue Springs. There we go. Chesterfield, the Rawlings Tigers, St. Louis Legacy, St. Louis Clutch, St. Louis Prospects. And you think St. Louis Redbirds over in Brentwood, EJ Basta, his group, we did a tour stop there with the Redbirds in 2020. In 2022, we were out at Legacy Performance Academy with the St. Louis Legacy.
People within the game of baseball.
Right.
Had a lot of good folks out here. We've surrounded ourselves with very, very talented people, especially in the baseball and training world. And when you start to surround yourself with people who really protect your confidence in what you're doing, you can brainstorm really well. Mm-hmm. And you can start to put something pretty special in place. The wheels got turning. I got introduced to a gentleman by the name of Craig Ringy. Craig will not talk about himself. He doesn't like to talk about himself, but Craig was an All-American at Central Missouri, drafted by the Texas Rangers, played 6 years of pro ball, 6 or 7 years of pro ball, coached at K-State, Southeast Missouri State, in Lindenwood. He was an offensive, hitting instructor, director of recruiting at those schools. And so when I started looking at, okay, well, we're going to put a high school program together, well, he'd be a pretty good guy to get on this bus,
right?
Since he was the director of recruiting.
They've since Josh Cradwetter's brought his St. Louis clutch over, and they're now the youth program in that legacy construct there. That'll be interesting to see how Mike Ott and Cradwetter, and I know they brought in, I think it's Brian Kessler, to be the director over there, and we're getting Craig Ringe's still over there. He was once the head coach at Southeast Missouri State. But Josh has been around his clutch group. They've got some good teams, so that's going to be an interesting feel. I'd love to get back over there. We need to talk. You know what, Lauren, you got to write that down. I got to see Mike Ott, Josh Cranware. You guys want to come on the show? Let's talk some baseball. I want to catch up with you guys, see how you're bringing all that together. That'd be an interesting conversation. So there's a few there. St. Louis Forest down in Fenton, which is now U.S. Nationals. Sal McGee, Jerry Daniels is in that down there. Rick Benz helps with that program. That was back in 2019. We did a winter workout tour stop when they opened Champions Village, and I was able to go back down just recently. They were doing a bat demo and took a tour. I mean, the facility's changed. It's continuing to grow. Kudos to Sal and his group there that's continuing to be successful. Look forward to getting down there and talking again with those guys as well. So O'Fallon, Missouri. I think Matt Culberson, who had the 314 Apaches, I was talking with Matt Shadowy come on. He's over with Midland now. So I think that's a big kudos to Midland. Matt Culberson does a great job coaching that way and coming over there into that group. Gators Baseball Academy. We did in 2020, we'd done a tour stop there. Chris Craddock, he's continuing to have a lot of success. They're over now in Illinois.
We've got it going on in Illinois. So Illinois has really jumped. We went from, I think, 3 teams to, I want to say, 12 or 13 teams over there. Jim Cromer kind of runs the youth division over there. Tim Funkhauser, whose name is very familiar, he's the Edwardsville High School coach, just won another state championship last year. Like I said, that just, when he came on board, when Jim came on board, Coach Sabatino over there, Jake Depew is probably one of the best hitting instructors in the Midwest. He's based out over there. We've got a great crew over there, and really looking forward to see those teams play this year for the first time.
And Tim Funkhauser, the head coach at Edwardsville High School, is part of that program over there. They have some great folks, great facilities. Kudos to Chris Craddock. He keeps that program moving forward, and that's huge. Gators Baseball Academy. And I'm hoping to get I really enjoyed the conversation last year we had in the offseason last year with Jake Depew, and I'd love to get Jake back on, come on, talk. Chris Dameron, always a pleasure to talk to those guys. They got some great folks in that group over there with Gators Baseball Academy. Grind Baseball, Dave Matz, smaller program, growing. He's in there. We saw them in the fall over when we were in Branson. He's got a pretty good squad over there, 14U. So love to catch up with Dave Matz over there at Grind Baseball. Be interesting. Of course, Midland Baseball, Matt Shadow, his group over in O'Fallon, they're continuing to grow. They've got Springfield. They're not only here in Missouri, in St. Louis and Springfield, but also in Texas, I believe Florida. A couple of, I know the main one in Cincinnati. So kudos to Matt building that program. Those guys there working very hard. We had Charlie Kelting on. It's always fun to talk with Charlie because Charlie, I remember Charlie when he was 9 playing ball. It's no offense, Charlie. I know you're a grown man. It's great, but it's always fun. Midwest Futures, we're looking forward. John Myers, we talked to John. They're going to be part of our 2023 winter workout tour. So we're looking forward to learning more about the Midwest Futures and Futures Baseball. So thanks to John Myers for opening up his program there. We're looking forward to that. Missouri Mariners, Gary and Grimm. It'll be interesting. I'd like to, I don't know much about Garion's program, but hopefully maybe we'll get him on the program here, talk a little baseball. Maybe we'll get him in a tour stop here in the next little bit. PBA, which Premier Baseball Academy, I think they've changed and they went over to Premier Sports Academy. I know I saw they're doing golf. They're doing some golf stuff now, so I think that's interesting. But PBA, Premier Baseball Academy, Mike Buda.
I sat down with Matt Meyer and we I was just wanting to kind of discuss with him to see how he could help my guys with recruiting and showcasing them. And, one thing led to another, and here I am. So I really got intrigued with their training and all the data that they use to develop their athletes and, and all the stuff that they were doing to get their kids to the next level.
Enjoyed those conversations, very candid. They got Coach Russ Hill from Fort Zumwalt East over there working in that program, working with the coaches. I love what they did there. We learned a lot about that program. And they got some young guys in there coaching, doing a good job. That program is growing as well. So kudos to those guys. Tribe Baseball, of course, Mitch Thomas from the Hitting Zone, my cohort for Youth Baseball Talk. Growing he's redoing his facility there. He's been working on nets. We're going to get over and do a tour stop there. If I don't, he'll probably shoot me. Right after, come on, dude. And because it was funny, we were there with Premier Baseball Academy in the Hitting Zone. It's where they're one of the places where they work out. So I got to get over there, talk some Tribe Baseball with Mitch. So that'll be fun. So that's all O'Fallon baseball. Then you go down just St. Louis, Adidas Athletics, Nick Herron. I remember when we went, remember Lauren, over when they were still in, I think it was All-Star, All-Star Academy or All-Star Performance Center where the gamers work out. Nick Herron's really taken that group and done a great job over there. We should get over there and call. I got to get a hold of Nick, get him on the show, or we can get it. Maybe hopefully get another tour stop. See how they've grown. That'd be interesting, right? Great facilities there. Easton St. Louis Tigers. That's a Slava group. Kirk Hawkins is still around there doing. I got that kind of snuck in here a little bit, but Gas House Baseball. Earl Green and Scott Seddon. That's where another Slava group, the Stallions, merged with the St. Louis Sting, and now they're Gas House Baseball. And I think it's interesting because there's still that Slava roots in there. I think they work with that, and it's something that I believe Buddha wants to do with PBA and talking about Slava and those things and keeping. And I think it's interesting as they get into that high school side of it, what he's talked about, and I've said this to some other folks, the baseball's a grind. It's playing every day. It's going through it's putting yourself in that place. And I think maybe, just maybe with the tournaments, You play a couple of games in midweek. You play some league that way, and then you're going into your, maybe it forces some of these younger teams to push to that end as well. Play that league. Increase the size of your squads. Go to that 14-man roster. Get some pitchers in there. Get that extra, and let kids play. And maybe the talent pool, is not so, you're 10 guys and then you're playing 9 and it's tough because somebody got hurt. Those are difficult things, and looking to how maybe the landscape changes a little bit. Play tournaments, play the league, make it more of a grind. Push those kids to play baseball at that level. I think it's interesting. Recruits baseball, of course. We were down there in 2021 with Todd Stein and his group. Met Dave Wiggins, Tyler Michel.
Hi, everybody. Todd Stein here with Recruits Baseball Club. A little bit about the program. We started in 2009. We saw a need for youth baseball and youth player development done the right way in the St. Louis area. We specialize in training children of all ages, young adults of all ages. Our youngest team is in the 7U age group, and our oldest is 18 years old. We really focus on position-specific training, athletic movement type training, strength, performance, conditioning, and everything that we can possibly do to make these kids the best players they can be.
Great group. Loved having Wiggins on. He's a great conversation. Recruits baseball does a great job down there growing in that area. St. Louis Gamers, of course, Mark Gallion, Matt Whiteside. They were part of our winter workout tour in 2020. That was interesting. It's because that's the Gamers, right? And they're that group. They've been around a long time. And then, of course, St. Louis Naturals, they were part of that same tour stop in 2020. Rich Minda, Lance Sherman, excuse me. That was fun because we got to TJ Matthews in that group. Cliff Polite, we got a chance to meet him, talk to him. So that's a really good group down there. And you don't hear as much maybe about the Naturals but that's a good, solid group down there. They do a lot of good things. Good baseball teams, more South County area, and that's where, the recruits and whatnot, and we're up here, of course, in St. Charles County, but this is all of these groups. There's a lot of baseball in the St. Louis metro area. St. Louis Pirates, Rick Strickland's group is still going there, and I don't know as much about Strickland's group. I really don't. St. Louis Prospect South, again, one that, Midwest Rebels. The Midwest Rebels is a newer group out in Troy, in the Troy area north of here. And so they're starting to grow. Aaron Schaefer. So we've seen them, they're still finding their footing, finding their way in there, along with the Missouri Redhawks kind of in that same. Now the Redhawks have been around a little while longer, James Ahern's group here in Wentzville. And they've been around a little bit longer. I'm not quite sure how much longer than the Midwest Rebels, but a group that is one of those that fits in there. We've been reaching out to Mr. Ahern on a few different occasions. Love to get into that program with a tour stop. So, and that's kind of the area around here. There's a lot, and I'm sure there are clubs and some of those that I've missed. We're compiling this list. We want to come out through the winter here. Would love to maybe even do a live podcast from one of the facilities. I think it'd be fun. Get to know people and push to that type of situation. I think it'd be a lot of fun talking some baseball. But there's a lot of good groups out here in youth baseball in the St. Louis area. We're going to keep talking about these over the next little bit. And as you can see, there's, some of the St. Louis Thunder is one that I know like to learn a little bit more about. I don't know if that's a single team. And there are some out there. The Eureka Eagles, I believe, just a single team. That there's still those independent squads that are out there working and getting it done. So I think that's very interesting as well. So if you are one of those just individual teams and whatnot, shoot me an email. Love to hear from you. Love to talk to you about how you guys are doing that and competing in the area against some of these clubs. I think it's a fantastic way to go about it. And you're seeing some of these independent teams in the lower age levels and whatnot. So I think it's still, there's a place for those things. There's a place for everybody to play. That's what we always say. We love the clubs, enjoy the club baseball, but there's always a place for everybody to play. If you're doing independent, if you go to play Slava, if you go to play American Legion, there are places to play. Where do you fit? What's your level? What talent level do you have? Talking to coaches, evaluating yourself. There's, PBR does great stuff with Kevin Mulder. You can go find out where you fit as far as statistically in certain things, your athleticism. There's some measurements there if you want to get better. How hard do you throw? What's your exit velo? I know these things that people go, well, that's not always. It isn't the end-all, be-all of talent and the measurement of talent, because baseball IQ makes up for a lot of things. I think it does. And so, but as you're getting older and you start looking into that stuff, don't worry about that in youth baseball. Those are things that, hit tracks and that's all fun. But hey, as we've been talking about with these clubs, I would love to see the clubs just kind of in these younger ages. Don't worry about AA, AAA. Let the kids go play. Let that get sorted out as they grow, and let's have some fun with this. I mean, we've had these conversations a little bit before, so. But I just wanted to give a shout out to these clubs and, Meg mentioned people that we've seen. We're looking forward to, what's here in St. Louis and what these clubs have done. I mean, you think about the Gators Baseball Academy, how long they've been there, the growth and what they've done. And I'm sure they've helped a lot of kids. The same with Midland over in O'Fallon. The same with the St. Louis Naturals down in South County. They've helped a lot of players get to the next level. Shane Eames, an instructor down there, does a great job hitting. With hitting up here, the same. Jake Depew over in, I'm sure, there's people I'm going to miss as far as that's concerned. So if I missed your name, please don't be offended. That's not my point. Love to have that conversation. We want to get those people on here. So, hey, that's what I'm going to finish up today, riding a little solo. Just wanted to kind of point some of these groups out. So if you're looking for a team, if you're going to build a team, maybe just build it yourself. If you want to look for a club, these are the clubs. Go and vet the clubs. Go talk to these guys. Go talk to what their clubs are about. Remember, there's not a fit for everybody in certain places and whatnot, but there is a fit. Baseball should be about the kids enjoying, having some fun, developing, getting better, and as they progress through the process, right? So, everybody, thanks for tuning in. Remember, oh, shoot, I should have done this before. We are on Spotify. We are on iHeartRadio. We are on Spreaker. You can go to our website. The Spreaker player is right there. You can listen to the podcast, put the headphones in, jump on the old elliptical or the treadmill, listen to it while you walk off the pounds, right? That's a good one right there, right, Lauren? Walking off the pounds, and especially as we're going into the silly season, you got the Thanksgiving turkey and whatnot. Ooh, yeah. But we do prime rib, don't we? We don't even do turkey. We do prime rib on Thanksgiving, thanks to my father-in-law. I appreciate that very much. There you go. Not complaining a bit. So, looking forward to that as well. Yeah, so remember next week, great place to listen. Subscribe, hit the dinger. Go to Spotify, leave us a comment, follow us there, follow the podcast on Spotify, Spreaker, or iHeartRadio. We appreciate it very much. Appreciate the support. Everybody have a great day in the Lord. All you pitchers, keep throwing strikes, and hitters, hit them where they ain't. We'll see you next time.